Broccoli Yahawa, Broccoli Yahawashi, Broccoli Yahawa, Broccoli Yahawashi, Call for Lord Yahawashi Yahawashi, Washim Hakadosh, double honor surpass the great Mosul, that taught me this 100% truth to rule well. Salutations to y'all came out there pushing the truth with all sincerity and wish to like to do so. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered on the four corners of the earth that believe in the truth Yahawashi Yahawashi. Shalom. This is 1 John 2 and 18, which reads, Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that the Antichrist shall come, even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. Yeah, brought this out because, in plantation Christianity, they talk about the Antichrist, they think it's just one individual that's going to come in the last day before the Lord comes, and he's going to do all these miracles, and he's going to, perpetrate to be the Lord, but he's not, and, which is, true somewhat, but, it's not just one individual, you know what I'm saying? As the scriptures just said, it said, the Lord said, there are going to be many antichrists, you know what I'm saying, coming in the last days, and, they are, you know what I'm saying, because and the main, the corporate that, that pushes, everything against the Lord, you know what I'm saying, is his adversary, Esau Edom, who the Lord hates, you know what I'm saying, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he's the Lord's adversary, and he pushes anti, Hamashiach movements, vibes, you know what I'm saying, because, this devil, he acts the Lord out, you know what I'm saying, he comes up with his own laws, his own way, you know what I'm saying, he does, his own miracles, you know what I'm saying, he got, uh, um, the whole thing dealing with, what's this dude's name, um, with the microchip brain implants, I can't remember his name right now, damn, what is his name? What's his Edomite name, man? He got the Tesla. I don't know, his name ain't come to me right now. But anyway, so he got the the brain implants that can uh, improve your cognitive awareness. You know what I'm saying that you can be anything you want. You can like download things to this chip, and you can make yourself a 5-star chef or superstar athlete, whatever. You know what I'm saying, by programming this chip and installing it in your brain. All of a sudden, you just become this immaculate individual. That's the devil in his craftiness. You know what I'm saying? Using his left hand energy. Coming up. Using his blessing, which is carnal. You know what I'm saying? To improve or to heal you. He said that with this brain chips that they can make you see better. You know what I'm saying? They can insert a chip in your spine and um, you know, um, help you walk again, restoring your nerve endings, so you can, actually physically walk or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Help you hear again and help you talk again. This is all, um, this devil, what I'm saying, losing his carnal left hand energy, to fix you, because you got to remember, a lot of these things, people who, who get punished by the Lord, you know what I'm saying, because that's their judgment, so he tries to show you that, the Lord is imperfect. Like, the Lord didn't mean for you to be blind or deaf or, because, they push that narrative that the Lord is all loving. But the Lord says you got to pay for, the things you did in times past. You know what I'm saying? You still held accountable for the sins that you commit. So when you die and go to the spirit world, you receive a judgment, and the Lord sends you back to serve out your punishment. So, but, the average individual, they don't understand that because they don't understand reincarnation. And, that's a narrative that Esau Edom took away. That's another thing that, him being an so-called antichrist, or anti-Mashiach, he changed the narrative and telling you that, taking away reincarnation or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He acting the Lord out, being against the Lord. He's anti Yahawashi Mahashai, So he comes with his chip or with his his technology, saying he can help you. You know what I'm saying? He does things like with the food. You know what I'm saying? Taking GMOs or whatnot, genetically modified organisms, and he'll do that. Same thing with even with animals or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He'll make his own type of fish, and I think talking about genetically modifying mosquitoes and things like that. That's the devil. You know what I'm saying? That's him doing his miracles. That's this anti, you know, uh, so-called antichrist, mentality, because he's telling you that the Lord is imperfect and he's better than the Lord, and he can make his own miracles. You know what I'm saying? But when you present that to the people, they don't understand that because they thinking, because the devil changed the narrative of this so-called with his fantasy Christianity, that this antichrist person is coming in these last days before the Lord comes, but he's already here. It's him. You know what I'm saying? This devil. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he's the antichrist. You know what I'm saying? And those that follow along and go against the ways of Yahawashi, even our people, 2/3 of the nation of Israel are in that anti-Hamashiach spirit, because they go against what the Lord stands for. They still going out celebrating the pagan holidays that this devil has given to him. That's another thing showing that he's anti-Mashiach. He give you his his bullshit uh, holidays. You know what I'm saying? He take the high holy days that the Lord has given unto us, and he made his own days. Coming in his own spirit. You know what I'm saying? Which he stands for his pagan wickedness. Because all those things that he celebrates has meaning. They're rituals that he set forth to push forth his wickedness and whatnot. And many of our people go along with it because they're conditioned, and that's what they know. They've been taught well by this devil. But yeah, like I was saying, he got this chip that he can install you, make you see better. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's coming down to. He's gonna implant his RFID microchip inside of you, and uh, he's gonna have total control over you or whatnot. But he's gonna present it as beneficial to you. You know what I'm saying that it can help you with health issues, and it can help you be able to walk again, talk again, whatever it may be. you know but that's the deception of the devil. You know what I'm saying? But he's showing you that he can do these things, but he doing it with his blessing on the left hand side. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that doing these miracles, and he's trying to asking the Lord out. But he's showing that, saying that the Lord isn't perfect, but the Lord isn't. When people have these diseases, they're born with cancer, whatever it may be, or they're born without a limb, or they're born blind, or they're born uh, with impaired limbs or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's a punishment and judgment of the Lord. And Esau saying, yo, I can fix that. You know what I'm saying? The Lord isn't perfect, but I can make you perfect. You know what I'm saying? And that's him tussling with the Lord, because the Lord said he's going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation, in the physical, in the spiritual. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how the devil works. He's that he coming in that anti Hamashiach spirit, because he's the Lord's adversary. That's his duty. That's what he's supposed to do, and he pushes this his wickedness, or his anti Hamashiach spirit amongst the people, amongst the nations. You know what I'm saying? And especially amongst you so-called Jake, you so-called it's like amongst Jake, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? He pushes it heavy upon you because he knows that the Lord, Yahweh Shema is your power. So he does everything possible, what I'm saying, to influence you not to follow that way. You know what I'm saying? Read this is 2 Corinthians 11:4, which read, for he that cometh preacheth another Yahawashi, whom ye have not preached, or if ye seek, or if ye receive another spirit which ye have not received, or another gospel which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him. Yeah, and this is what the devil did. You know what I'm saying? He came with that anti, Yahweh Shema spirit, anti-Mashiach spirit, and took the true gospel of Yahawashi Shai out of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And put his own version of, of the gospel out there. You know what I'm saying? Because he's against that everything that the Lord stands for. He told you Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that you're not the Lord's people. You know what I'm saying? You're Africans, you're Dominicans, you're Puerto Ricans, you know what I'm saying? You're Indians, you know what I'm saying? Those are the bywords that this devil gave unto you. You know what I'm saying? He took your identity away from you, and he claims it to his own. These small hats, you know what I'm saying? These so-called Jewish people, you know what I'm saying? They stole our identity, ain't even our land, and took it upon themselves, you know what I'm saying? And they say, and they tell you that you're not the people, you know what I'm saying? And this is, the place where the Lord says, that we're not going to be the people, but there should be said we are the people. And how is that being done? By the prophets of Yahweh Shemashai. They're telling us who we are as a people, you know what I'm saying? Fulfilling prophecy, This is the place, Babylon the Great, where these devils, were going to, deny who we are as a people. But the Lord was going to raise his men up in these last days and tell our people, this is who you are. You are my beloved children. You know what I'm saying? You're the apple of my eye. You're the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to give you your salvation. And that's of those of the hopeful elect. Because 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed because they're stuck in the way of this devil that, when he pushed plantation Christianity upon their mind, you know what I'm saying? They're trapped in that way, But, that's all part of the story too, because, that's part of biblical prophecy as well. You know what I'm saying? 2/3 of our people here in Babylon the Great got to be destroyed. So-called America, you know what I'm saying? But he changed the gospel. He gave you his version of the gospel. He told you that he's the people. He put the people in his image, you know what I'm saying? From a dark-skinned image to a so-called white image, you know what I'm saying? Being that he's a red man, because Esau Edom was red, you know what I'm saying? Because the name Esau is wasted away to see. He has no pigmentation. That's the curse that was placed upon him. He got the curse of Cain upon him. Reading on. This is 1 John 4:1, which reads, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the Lord, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. And Esau Edom is one of those false prophets that's, led our people into the false way of, plantation Christianity. And many of our people are false prophets because they push that, plantation Christianity among our people. And that's what he did it in our captivity, in this last captivity that we're in. They used to take, these, so-called preachers that Esau Edom will raise up, in his doctrine and push them, among the people to get them, the other slaves, not to rebel. You know what I'm saying? Push his version of Christianity upon them. But it still didn't work. They still have slave rebellion because a lot of the slaves knew who they were. You know what I'm saying? Like, Demar Vesey, who's here in Charleston, South Carolina, and also, what's the movie of the dude, Nat Turner, you know what I'm saying? I think that was in Virginia or whatnot. He knew he was an Israelite, you know what I'm saying? And they had raised up itself slave rebellions, you know what I'm saying? Because he knew who he was, But, that was all orchestrated by Yahweh Shemashai, for that to take place. But the Lord is going to be the one who's going to redeem us, in these last days, And he's only coming to save the elect. Because many of our people are going to get destroyed in that day because, there's going to be race wars. And the Lord will put that, that roaring spirit on Jake to go against his enemy, Esau Edom, in these last days. Race wars are part of biblical end-time prophecy. Be known. In every spirit, it's like it. 1 John 4:2, hereby know ye the spirit of the Lord, every spirit that confesses that Yahawashi Hamashiach is come in the flesh is of the Lord. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahawashi Hamashiach is come in the flesh is not of the Lord. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, whereof, or the anti-Hamashiach, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now, or already it is in the world. Yeah. So even then, the spirit of anti-Hamashiach was in the world, and it is in this day. You know what I'm saying? because false doctrines was always being pushed forth, even among Jake. So this devil, once he got the upper hand, he was able to force his way and his doctrine upon us, and many of our people are still stuck in that, and he tells you that the Lord, when he denies you that the Lord has come in the flesh, he gave you an image, his own image of the Lord. Pushing forth white supremacy, so-called white supremacy, painting the Lord in his image. You know what I'm saying? Going against the description that they have in the scriptures. But that's the devil for you. You know what I'm saying? He's a deceiver. You know what I'm saying? So he took the Lord and painted him in his own image. So for him to say that he's denying you that the Lord came in his flesh, because he's giving you a different flesh. You know what I'm saying? From what he came in. He's telling you that he came in his image. You know what I'm saying? As a so-called white man. But leprosy, that's a curse. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this devil did. So for those that are in that mind state, and you believe in that image of, the so-called white man being, the Lord, you know what I'm saying? You're denying Yahawashi, because you're believing, or you're envisioning that image of the Lord. So you're denying that he came in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? He came in a fleshly body, and he came as a so-called black man. You know what I'm saying? But that's the deception that the devil has placed upon you. You know what I'm saying? You're denying, you're coming in that anti-Hamashiach spirit, where you push his doctrine, you know what I'm saying, of plantation Christianity, saying that the Lord loves everybody, all nations come to the Lord, all people could be saved, and the Gentiles he was talking about were not the Gentiles of the nation of Israel, that they were just regular Gentiles, the heathen Gentiles. No, the Gentiles that the Apostle Paul was sent out to were the Gentiles of the nation of Israel, Israelite foreigners, to get them to turn back into their power. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Lord is doing in these last days. Those that, of the hopeful elect that have turned back to the Lord, we were those Gentiles. We were in that Gentile mind state. But now that we know who we are, and that the Lord has presented himself unto us, you know what I'm saying, that we have turned back to the Lord, and, doing the ways of our forefathers, you know what I'm saying? And, returning into our Lord, and, serving him to the best of our ability, keeping the Lord's statutes and commandments to the best of our ability, keeping the high holy days. We're doing the things that, we did in times past in this time. And Lord willing, you know what I'm saying, we continue until the end, and until the Lord comes, give us, all salvation. If we have the hope of life. So this is Revelations 1:14, which reads, his head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as they were burnt in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Yeah. So the Lord telling you right here, you know what I'm saying? That he giving you a description that, he had hair, white like wool, the hair on his head. You know what I'm saying? So the hair on the top of his head and his face, you know what I'm saying, were white like wool. You know what I'm saying? The color of it was white, and it's woolly texture. You know what I'm saying? And his eye was a flaming furnace. He had fiery eyes. You know what I'm saying? And his feet unto like fine brass, and if they burnt in a furnace, and his voice the sounds of many waters. He had a deep voice, and he looked like he was burning in a furnace. You know what I'm saying? If you burn fine brass in a furnace, what color is it going to turn? So-called black. You know what I'm saying? Dark. It's going to be a dark color. You know what I'm saying? If you burn it, it's going to turn dark. So he was a dark-skinned man. You know what I'm saying? But this devil, what he do? He go and he gives you this image of him, and say you changing the name of the Lord, saying he's so-called Jesus Christ, and he painted him his image. This is not like the description that we just read. You know what I'm saying? This dude is white, so-called white. He got long stringy hair. His hair's not white and it's brown. He got a beard and all that, whatever. But and the Lord says you're not supposed to have long hair. You know what I'm saying? That's against the ways of Yahawashi. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to have long hair. So this is the homosexuality push it that he, and then you got Easter. Look at that bullshit. Anyway, so this is the bullshit that they push upon you. You know what I'm saying? And this is Cesare Borgia, you know what I'm saying, who's a homosexual. You know what I'm saying? And this is the image, that was, pushed as, who the savior of the nation of Israel is. But this devil, he gonna have to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? He did this, painting the Lord in his image. Because why? He's anti-Hamashiach. He's against what the Lord stands for. He tells you that, it's okay to be a homosexual. The Lord loves homosexuals. And they got homosexual churches. They even have homosexual weddings. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. How the Lord gonna bless something that he says that's abominable? You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna bless the food that's abominable, how you gonna bless you being a fornicator? Yeah, and true fornication is when you commit adultery and when you commit acts like homosexuality and bestiality. That's fornication. Sex before marriage is not fornication. Sex is marriage. You know what I'm saying? And that's another lesson in itself. But adultery is when a woman who's married lays with another man. You know what I'm saying? So, and a man can only commit adultery if he lays with a woman that's taken already, that already has a man. You know what I'm saying? So if a woman's not, taken, and a man has a woman, he lays with another woman, but the other woman doesn't have a man, that's not adultery. That's not fornication. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A man can have multiple wives. As long as that woman that he's laying with or dealing with, you know what I'm saying, doesn't have another woman, and he already has a woman, she fair game. You know what I'm saying? But that's another thing that shows you that this devil is an antichrist or anti-Hamashiach. You know what I'm saying? Because he took that away from you. He took your manhood away from you by telling you that you only can have one woman. Because he created marriage and put a license, because it all became a business. You know what I'm saying? For him, it's lucrative for him to have shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go to divorce court, he get to divide up the properties and tear families apart. That's what this devil is. You know what I'm saying? But at the he's just totally against what the Lord stands for. You know what I'm saying? He allows that destruction of the family. And he's for that. You know what I'm saying? And we're not supposed to divide what the Lord has brought together, but that's what the devil does. You know what I'm saying? He comes with that anti, Hamashiach spirit. You know what I'm saying? And, but because that's who he is. You know what I'm saying? He's the anti Hamashiach. You know what I'm saying? He's against everything that the Lord stands for. This is 1 John 2:21, which reads, I have not written unto you because ye know not the truth, but because ye know it, and that no lie is of the truth. Who is a liar but he that denieth that Hamashiach, that Yahawashi is Hamashiach? He is an antichrist that denieth the Father and the Son. Yeah, so he is a liar because he gave you, you know what I'm saying, his version of, who the Lord is, pushing his, his false narrative of, how the Lord loves everybody. He didn't just die for, that he came to die for all the nations, not his people. You know what I'm saying? That's the narrative that he pushed, that he changed. You know what I'm saying? And that, how the Lord looks, how the Lord looks like him. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, he painted the Lord in his image as a so-called white man. And that's totally not, true. You know what I'm saying? But he's the devil and deceiver. You know what I'm saying? He's the anti-Hamashiach. Or, as scriptures, to say it verbatim, he's the antichrist. You know what I'm saying? And this is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Yeah, who did that? Who gave you this image right here? Esau Edom, so-called white man. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. He told you that Yahawashi is a so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? He told you that he's the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Is so-called white people. You know what I'm saying? Tell you King David, King Solomon. Moses, all these people are so-called white people. And we know that's not to be true. You know what I'm saying? Showing you he's fulfilling prophecy, he fulfilled the scriptures. He painted the faces of the judges thereof. And who's the greatest, judge of all? Yahawashi, you know what I'm saying? And so, Moses was a judge, David, judge. These, are our leaders of the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? But this devil painted his image over them and tell you that, these people of the nation of Israel look like him. You know what I'm saying? Because, this is his turn in power. And he's trying to fight back to get his blessing. So he deceived the world, you know what I'm saying? And gave him his version of what it is that he believes the Lord to be. But that's not so, you know what I'm saying? This is John, 2 John 1 and 7, which reads, "For many deceivers are entered into the world, who confess not Yahawashi Hamashiach is come in the flesh. This is the deceiver and an antichrist." Yeah, he's denying that the Lord has come in the flesh. Why? Because he gave you his image of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? He's denying you that, the Lord didn't come looking like a so-called black man. He giving you his version of how the Lord comes. You know what I'm saying? Which totally don't match, the description that was given to us in Revelations 1 that John the Revelator, described. You know what I'm saying? He told you, he gave you his version of, what it is that he believes. Totally going against it. that's how bold this devil is. He don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I understand that's what it says, but I'm gonna push what I believe, and I'm gonna make the people believe it, because he beat it into us. He conditioned us, and he did a great job of it. But the same thing gonna happen to us, him in our kingdom, and all these nations. We're gonna beat them into submission. You know what I'm saying? They got 1,000 years of servitude. They're gonna get it right. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna know who they are, and it's not gonna be, equalities and things like this devil tries to, push forth in his kingdom of his deception. He knows that he's in power. You know what I'm saying? But he pushed that narrative of, all men are equal and all type of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just to be politically correct, what they call, and try to make you believe that he's fighting for, the minorities and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That we all equal and all. But no, nigga, you clearly on top. This is clearly your world. You're clearly in power. You know what I'm saying? And two nations can't run and be in power in the same kingdom. This is your time to rule. He in the power seat. You know what I'm saying? But he gives you that deception that, we all equal. But no, it's clear the fact that he's in power. You know what I'm saying? And in our kingdom, it's going to be known that the nation of Israel is the world power. We're going to, and because, everybody's going to have to, follow our lead. We're going to, all law, statute, commandments are going to be in place. And when they're broken, there's going to be judgment brought upon those that break it. You know what I'm saying? And we won't be able to break it because we're going to be, the laws and statute commandments are going to be written inside of the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? We won't be able to sin. We're going to be immortals on the face of the earth. And the rest of you nations is going to be mortals in the same flesh. And you're going to reap judgment. You know what I'm saying? If you break these laws, you're going to be judged. But the men that are in power, the nation of Israel, which would be your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're going to be the world powers. You know what I'm saying? These nations are going to have to answer to us. All of them. So when Esau Edom, the so-called white man, you know what I'm saying? He's going to serve hardcore bondage for 1,000 years, and then after that 1,000 years, he's going to be wiped off the face of the planet, and the rest of you other nations are going to be able to go and build up your communities, your nations, but you're still going to have to answer to us. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be the ambassadors. We're going to be, who y'all, come to for, financial support. You know what I'm saying? To get approval. You know what I'm saying? To operate, your society properly. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to deal with us. You're gonna have to come to us. And take tribute unto the nation of Israel. But we're gonna do y'all fairly. We're not gonna rule We're going to rule with a iron fist, but we're not going to rule wickedly. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be fair. We're going to, rule righteously. Like the scriptures say, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. But when the righteous bear rule, the people are going to rejoice. So the whole world going to rejoice. Even the fir trees, the animals, everybody going to rejoice when the nation of Israel is in the power seat. When we take over this, this earth again. This is the last one. Revelations 11:8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Yeah, and how was the Lord crucified in Sodom and Egypt? Here in so-called America, Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? Where the devil, X'd out. He took away your Lord's statute and commandments. You know what I'm saying? He took away the image of the Lord. He gave you his version of, plantation Christianity. He completely X'd the Lord out. You know what I'm saying? He crucified the Lord. He took away. He told you that you're not the people. You know what I'm saying? That you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans are not the Israelites. That he's the people. You know what I'm saying? Gave you bywords. You're so-called African. You know what I'm saying? Dominican, Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? He gave you these bywords. He took away who you were. He took away your identity and took it into himself. You know what I'm saying? He crucified the Lord his way, pushing homosexuality upon you. You know what I'm saying? Pushing adultery upon you. You know what I'm saying? Getting our people to, pollute, the environment, pushing, rap and, among them, poisoning their mind and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what the devil did. But he's going to have to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? He gave you his version of who the Lord is, but we all know when we read the description of Revelations, this is how the Lord looks. This is the true depiction of, if you go by what the, John the Revelator saw, this is how the Lord looks. Look. Dark-skinned man with white woolly hair and red eyes. You know what I'm saying? That's an image or a proper, description of the image that was given unto John the Revelator. A man whose skin looked like it was burnt to the furnace, very dark man with woolly hair and it's white. You know what I'm saying? The head is on his head, white like wool. You know what I'm saying? And fiery eyes. You know what I'm saying? And his feet look like it was burnt to the furnace. So if your feet burnt to the furnace, your whole body is going to be the same. And this is the true depiction of the true image of how the Lord looks. And if you know how the sun look, you know how the Lord looks. You know what I'm saying? Because he looks just like the sun, as the scriptures say. So this is the true depiction of how the Lord is, looks, and how his people look. The Lord, because the Lord made us in his image. You know what I'm saying? We're made in the way of Yahawashi. So this is the true image of, of the Lord, and that the false narrative of the Antichrist or whatnot. It's like, I don't know why I did that. Of the Antichrist, being this person that's going to come in the last days. Niggas was talking about even Obama was the Antichrist. They bugged out, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, but yeah, there's this Antichrist being this one person, as they gave to plantation Christianity, is a false narrative. Scriptures say there are many Antichrists, and the Antichrist or anti-Mashiach is anybody that comes against the true word of Yahawashi Mashai, that comes against the true gospel of Yahawashi Mashai. You know what I'm saying? Pushing that plantation Christianity narrative, that this devil has, presented into the world. You know what I'm saying? That's that Antichrist spirit that's in the earth. Going against, what the Lord Yahawashi Mashai stands for. You know what I'm saying? Doing away with his way and pushing, his way forth. You know what I'm saying? Getting away his law, statute, commandments, creating his own laws. You know what I'm saying? Running the things how he see fit without, acknowledging the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Changing the name of the Lord to Jesus Christ or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's an anti-Hamashiach. You know what I'm saying? And he, is paved the way for that. You know what I'm saying? He was the forerunner pushing that bullshit anti-Hamashiach spirit in the earth. Esau Edom, so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? He was the forerunner for that. Wait, he's the true antichrist. Pushing that, his way, his wickedness upon the earth. You know what I'm saying? And those that follow in that way, even those other ethnicities, still, y'all coming in that same spirit, that anti-Hamashiach spirit. Coming against the ways of Yahawashi. But don't want to ramble on. That's pretty much it. I hope this lesson be edifying. Just want to say, Kohola Yahawashi, Kwama Shwala, Abba Baba, and Shalom.